We're here in the Your TV studio and we have a guest, a familiar face with Leeann Noel from Century 21, and we're back for Realty Insight.
Yes, thank you, Clarke.
Leeann, thank you for coming in.
Of course, always my pleasure. And actually, can I just give a shout out to our viewers? Just for a quick second, thank you so much for when you see me out and about talking about our segment, Clarke and I. You have no idea how much it means to me. Your feedback, your input, keep on keeping on.
We're happy to hear that you've been
you.
interacting with viewers.
I have.
So thank you for sharing that. Today's topic, we're kind of concluding a process over the past several times you have been in concerning home inspections, what are sellers looking for, and today, seller responsibilities during closing.
During closing. So, right, our closing now, this is really the end of the process. This is when that ownership is fully transferred. And of course, the buyers definitely have some responsibility during this time. But I really wanted to focus now on our sellers and what they need to do come this time of closing.
This can certainly be a stressful time for sellers because they're trying to coordinate getting the keys for their new place, perhaps.
Correct.
How much can a realtor lower that stress level?
We always definitely help with stress because we're essentially your soundboard. We can tell you your steps leading up to that, what you need to do. So again, come that day of closing, everything is running smoothly.
Let's get right into it. Closing on a home, topic number one.
Well, let's talk about our final walkthrough. So essentially this is when the buyer is going to schedule a time, typically day before closing or morning of closing. The lawyers will always request what's called the final inspection. So the buyers are going to go through the home, make sure that the chattels are in good working order. Again, those chattels are fridge, stove, washer, dryer, anything that you've left behind in the deal that now the buyers will have possession of. Keep up regular maintenance as a seller before that time to be sure that when the buyers go through that everything is as it was when they purchased the home. If you are considering age or many repairs, again for our sellers, you cannot do that unless the buyer is fully aware and that they have consented to said work.
If the home was staged for sale, would this be a time where the staged items would be removed?
Absolutely. It's always best to do it if potentially we want the home to be vacant. So any staging items, any furniture, ideally let's have that out so that the buyers can fully see what they're getting into.
Do's and don'ts. There's a right and a wrong way to do pretty much everything. So let's start with the good.
All right, let's start with our do's. So like you mentioned, Clarke, keys. Let's leave all the keys for the exterior doors for the buyers. The lawyers will disclose either a lockbox code or where to pick up the keys once the funds are transferred for the buyers. Another do, leave out any warranties or paperwork that you have about any maybe light fixtures, fans, chattels, washer, dryer, fridge. That is also really great. I've seen sellers put together a binder, and again, you can help, a realtor can help the seller with that, of all the things that maybe where the water turnoff is, just little items like that that will make a really big difference for our buyers.
I'm going to jump right into the don'ts. I think a don't would be to leave leftover ribs from Ribfest in the fridge for the new owner. Would that be a don't?
That is correct. That's a don't, yes. Another don't leave the country for another Ribfest, all right?
Okay.
Stay
in the country.
Stay in the country. If you do plan to travel and you're not going to be around day of closing, make sure that your trusted realtor is aware as well as the lawyers so that you can complete all the paperwork prior to completion.
Timeline, what are we thinking? Is it 48, 72 hours? What's that like crunch time between closing and
well, essentially, let's talk about closing date for just a moment. Sure. If it's vacant, closing can happen very fast. Again, making sure that our lawyers have enough time to do their due diligence. Also, maybe that seller is, they're purchasing a home. Maybe they need a 60 to 90 day close. But really, the timeline, start preparing at least 2 weeks prior to completion date. Make sure that everything is in their boxes, that your movers are ready, which again, that should be done essentially when the house is sold. And then we want to make those arrangements for that final walkthrough, final inspection. So again, 24 hours, 48 hours is ideal.
Looking ahead to 2 weeks' time, we're going to be touching on some stats, and that could be affected by that key interest rate perhaps rising up.
Yes,
keeping
precisely.
an eye on that?
Yeah, I would love to discuss that. So we're going to bring our stats for our viewers and their numbers out there. And also, you know how much I love real estate, yes, but giving back to this community is so near and dear to my heart. And we're going to have a special guest. Katie Ricci will be here. She's the co-chair of the Bay Block Party that's happening on August 26th. And I'm so excited for her to be here to share all the details with you and I and our viewers.
And that date will come quickly. So Leanne, thank you for teeing that up for us, and thank you for coming in today.
My pleasure, Clark. Thank you.